What's up, everyone? John Matrixx here for another episode of John Matrixx Talks Movies. Today, we are talking Captain Marvel and Rotten Tomatoes. So, Cineblend here, I'm sorry. Thought there was a screen rant for a second. Says this Rotten Week, predicting Captain Marvel reviews. So, they are predicting the score for the Tomatometer for Captain Marvel. And let's see what they have in store for this movie. Captain Marvel. So let's look at it here. Just remember, I'm not reviewing these movies, but rather predicting where they will end up on the Tomatometer. It's also worth pointing out that this Rotten Tomato week isn't affected by the recent changes made by Rotten Tomatoes, which reportedly weren't made in connection with Captain Marvel. Okay, so these changes include eliminating want to see scores prior to release, as well as not allowing comments to be made about a movie prior to its release. Now, let's take a look at this Rotten Week has to offer. Now, I didn't know you can even make a comment on a movie that wasn't released. That's something new to me. But anyway, so Cineblend here is predicting Rotten Tomatoes prediction of 80% for Captain Marvel. So, you may say, oh, 80%, that sounds great. Yes, but if you actually do a little bit more research into the Rotten Tomatoes scores for the MCU movies, this 80% really isn't that great. It's really not. I mean, all the hype is that Captain Marvel is going to change the world and everything like this. I mean, they're almost making it seem like it's a bigger event than Avengers Infinity War, which it's not even going to come close to that, I think. Like I said, I still think this movie's going to make around $550 million. If it's lucky, $650. But if you look over here, all of these other MCU movies did not get this much hype. And they're only predicting a 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's look at Doctor Strange here. Doctor Strange, 89% on the Tomatometer. That is really good. Really good. And I really enjoyed Doctor Strange. I don't think it was, a game changer or anything like that. Like, they're really trying to make Captain Marvel out to be a big time game changer. Like it's going to be on Avengers level. So, no, it's not. I mean, it may be a fine movie overall, but I think even Cineblend is seeing that this movie won't really get a super high score. I mean, with all of the shields and everything coming out, you would think that Captain Marvel would have like 100% on the Tomatometer, but 80% is really not that good. Let's look at like Spider-Man Homecoming. Let me just type that in here and you will actually see, they always spell Spider-Man with the hyphen in it to actually get it to show up. So I always thought that was a little bit strange. So Spider-Man, and I got to put the colon and Homecoming. There it is. So Spider-Man Homecoming, 92 on the Tomatometer. 92. I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was a good movie. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was like better than any of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, but it was good. I really did enjoy Spider-Man Homecoming. Good movie. But 92, 80. I really think Cineblend is thinking that Captain Marvel may be a bit overrated. And I think even the person that wrote this article actually wants to see it. So, but this movie is not going to be a game changer whatsoever. I think maybe they see some of the backlash or so, but remember, the Tomatometer is coming from the critics, and the critics they've been very generous to quite a few movies, like The Last Jedi. I think The Last Jedi, let's see here, Last Jedi on Rotten Tomatoes here, just to give you kind of a, Last Jedi has a 91 on the Tomatometer. So I don't know how serious you can actually take any Rotten Tomatoes scores, but still, 80 is pretty generous here. Avengers Infinity War, actually, I believe it actually has a lower score than Doctor Strange, which is, you know, kind of crazy when you think about how popular Avengers Infinity War was. I mean, it's just amazing that Avengers Infinity War here, it has 85 on the Tomatometer. Doctor Strange had an 89. And to me, Avengers Infinity War is the best MCU movie that they've ever made. So I think another comparable would probably be like Ant-Man. And I gotta put a hyphen in it again. I think like Ant-Man. Let's go Ant-Man and the Wasp first. So that has 88 on the Tomatometer. 88. Now I know that one of the Thor movies on here actually has a lower score. So Thor, okay, Thor 77. I really enjoyed Thor. So to me, based on, you know, just comparing it to the other MCU movies, I think that this is just another MCU movie according to Cinema Blend. I mean, an 80 based on the MCU movies, that's not really that high. I'm surprised that Thor is a 77. I think they actually have Thor: The Dark World. I think that one's actually lower. Yeah, it has a 66 on the Tomatometer. That's the lowest one that I've seen so far. But Thor Ragnarok, and I know Thor Ragnarok was pretty popular with quite a few people. 92 on a Tomatometer here. And we're just gonna go and look at one more movie here, and that's gonna be Avengers: Age of Ultron, because I know that movie is kind of split with a lot of people, but on Tomatometer, 75. So we looked at all of these movies, and Captain Marvel is, based on this, would be near the bottom tier just based off of the Tomatometer. Now, don't take the Tomatometer overly serious, and don't do it, because we already saw how they judged The Last Jedi, and most people think The Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie ever. This 80. Maybe it'll be somewhere around that. But if this actually does get an 80 on Rotten Tomatoes, I think that is somewhat a failure for this movie, because based on all of the other MCU movies, it's not a game changer, you know? Now, we already saw how they had Infinity War. They had Doctor Strange above Infinity War. I don't think Infinity War. I think Infinity War is a much better movie than Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange was very good. So I don't know how good the movie is going to be. I'm not going to go see it. I mean, I'm pretty much out on this Captain Marvel thing. I'm just going to report the news, watch the fallout from it, see where it goes. Opening weekend is going to tell a lot about this movie, since this movie is pretty much opening across the globe. It's even opening in China. So the first week of Captain Marvel, that's going to be huge to really tell how much this movie is going to make at the box office, considering that China is coming out in China this weekend as well. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Captain Marvel, 80 on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you think that's too low, too high, just right? I don't know. We'll see. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me. And we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.